Welcome back, everybody, to the back nine coverage of the Discraft Great Lakes Open. This is round one. This is our 5th Disc Golf Pro Tour of the year, and it is sponsored by Discraft, as is this coverage. And both of your two commentators. I'm Paige Pierce.
I'm Missy Gannon.
And we are excited to be walking you guys through the Toboggan course. This is one of the best courses on tour. Just so unique. We never throw courses like this, so it's really fun to get out here. After the front nine, you saw myself at 2 under, Missy and Hailey at 1 under, and Lisa at even. And then we also had Kona Panis at 2 under from the chase card, and Jessica Weiss as well. So scores are tight, and lots of birdies are to be had on this back nine. This is where the scoring happens. So thanks for joining us.
Yeah, and to start us off, hole 10, maybe not a birdie for a lot of the field, but it's definitely a unique hole. It is 370 feet, but it is, again, a severe dogleg to the right, also very uphill for that approach shot. So it's a par 3, and, I think that a lot of us are going to try to get around the corner or lay up to give ourselves an approach to the basket up the hill. I'm trying to lay up short just to that first gap. End up going a little bit longer than I wanted, but I'll just have to navigate a little bit to go get up to the green.
Yeah, and I'm looking for a similar position to Missy, but I'm throwing my Crystal Fierce on a little bit of an Anheuser. And kind of same result, just a tiny bit too far. And we're kind of talking about that in the moment, too. Just, it's going to be interesting over here. Hailey opts for the Crystal Raptor sidearm. Really overstable fairway, so it's just going to dump to the right.
Yeah, I think she knew right away she didn't quite put that flat enough.
Lisa also lining up the sidearm. Pretty similar position to Hailey, so we're going to see 4 different kind of scramble shots. Lisa opts to just lay up.
Yeah, she had a lot of thick bush right in front of her. I like this play a lot, and I like the way you match that angle. You know that the mid-range is going to just land flat up on the hill. So that was a great scramble shot because you could see those branches right there. I'm just a little bit ahead of her, but basically in the same spot. I'm going hyzer, just trying to get it high enough. Just clipped that only tree that I was trying to get in front of and rolled down into circle 2. So not great.
Hailey from deep in it gets her zone out under the basket. Lisa's left with this 120-foot approach to get up and down. Yeah, like you said, this one's very difficult. There was actually no birdies in the field on the entire field for this one. 56% pars. It kind of takes a huge Sky Anheuser or some kind of. I saw some guys throwing rollers. Yeah, just a tough one for the FPO division, I would say.
Yeah, not impossible, but the risk reward is just too high, I think.
Yeah, some of the ladies definitely have that shot in their bag, but we don't want to be in the brush there.
Yeah. So hole 11 is a par 3, 318 feet. Again, a big uphill hole. I think there are definitely people who can reach this hole for sure. So you're just trying to keep something nice and straight, match that hill angle, and get right, give yourself a chance for a birdie. This hole probably plays more like 350, 370 maybe?
Yeah, with how uphill it is, probably, 360 or so. That one just came out a tiny bit late. I'm going to find myself in the woods on the right. I am far enough up there that I should have a putt, but it'll be obstructed.
Hailey just throwing textbook.
Beautiful shot. And gets the skip. She's inside circle 1 with her Zeus.
I was feeling inspired by that shot. So definitely trying to do the same with my Thrasher. Just having a hard time matching those angles for those uphill holes. I need to correct those for round 2 for sure.
Lisa now, it looked like it came out a tiny bit early, but she's still in the center of the fairway, just quite a bit short.
So trying to catch my breath, walking up that hill to my approach shot, and keep my composure and get myself close.
Right.
You were thinking about this one for a little bit, trying to figure out exactly which side you wanted to go on.
Yeah, I prefer the Anheuser release on my putts, so I chose to step out left.
Mm-hmm.
And that one
That
felt
was
really
awesome.
good.
Hailey with a pretty routine shot right there. She's making this hole look easy.
Yeah, and so on this feature card, we're going to take 2 of the 3 birdies in the whole field. The
Nice.
other one coming from Kona Panis, who is also in contention right now for the lead card going into round 2. But there's still quite a few holes left, so see how this round finishes out.
Yeah, hole 12, another very gettable par 4, 535 feet, but plays downhill. And you just want to find yourself just past this tree on the right and get yourself right here in this landing zone and just have a nice straight approach shot to the basket and get out with your birdie. Not a whole lot of danger other than going too inside in the bushes or hyzering out and hitting that left tree.
Yeah, even the holes that seem pretty easy are a little bit difficult just because of the elevation everywhere. I mean, you know, just a tiny bit of nose angle that's incorrect is going to sail you one way or the other.
Yeah, I mean, you threw a putter there and you were worried it was going to go too far. You know, it's hard to manage those elevation changes for sure.
Yeah, and if you do go too far on this drive, you're kind of left in this very thick woods, and you kind of have no option at the birdie 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for me, I'm aiming at that big tree on the right side, just knowing that I'm going to land right in the money spot. And I'm a little longer from the basket than I want, but I'm exactly lined up with the gap.
Lisa looked like a similar shot that you just threw.
Mm-hmm.
She was calling for it to get down. She said it was a little too far.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys are going to see what it looks like when you go a little deep on this one.
Yeah, so you can see here I'm just perfectly lined up with the gap, just throwing my Crystal Fierce. Nice and easy. It is slightly downhill from there and scoots right about 15 feet.
Hailey with the zone. A little bit hot and a little too early out of her hand. She's going to be just outside the circle on the deep side. This is my banger, looking at a blind hyzer. Pull it a little bit wide, but it has enough speed to kind of filter through those branches.
Yeah, this is what you see when you go a little bit too long. You're very pinched. Lisa having to go severe angle forehand, just sort of rolls it out into the thick on the right side.
Long look to get that birdie. It's a tiny bit low with her Sky God. She actually put the Sky God up there instead of her KC Pro AVR.
Mm-hmm.
That I wouldn't call that a spit out, but it was one of those ones that could have stuck.
It just lands too flat right next to the chains and on top of the basket. It's a tough one. But you convert on your birdie. I will hopefully be doing the same.
And we're going to contribute to the 47% birdie rate on this hole, displayed the easiest on the entire course. maybe too soft of a par.
Maybe.
Not sure, but none of us are really getting inside circle 2, so it's probably a pretty good par for us.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you land in that money zone like you're saying, it's pretty much a gimme birdie.
Leaderboard check-in. Paige leading the pack at 4 down through 12. Kona is done by now, and she ended up with a 3 down. And you could see everyone's right around, that couple down, even spot. So it's super tight with plenty of holes left. Hole 13 is a par 4. It's, I call it the driving range hole. I don't know. But yeah, you're literally just trying to throw something as far as you can, because halfway through that first drive, it goes way uphill. So if you can land yourself somewhere in the middle of this hill, you'll have a relatively routine shot up to the basket, but it's still very uphill. So definitely a gettable par 4 for, I think, most of our division. Just make sure you get that tee shot as far as you can.
This is my Surge SS. I told you guys on hole 2, I love throwing this uphill. It's got so much glide and just feels so easy to throw.
Another angle misrelease. Definitely throwing too flat on these uphill holes. So I'll be a little shorter than I want. It's going to make my approach a bit longer. Hailey getting better height on her release. This looks like Lisa's Roadrunner, just trying to get as much distance as possible.
And these uphill run-ups just take so much power off. Lisa's putting everything she has into this. And just getting it a little bit inside circle 2.
Mm-hmm. I liked it out of my hand, just again a little too low. I needed to just get further on the tee shot, and I'll be up there for birdie. But I still have a long bid. This was just a textbook shot, perfectly placed. Slight early release from Paige there. She's inside the circle, but she will find herself in some brush. I'm definitely running this. I thought I had it, and I didn't.
It looks so good. It looks so good.
Thanks. They'll start landing soon.
And Lisa, a little bit closer than you. Kind of lofted that one over the basket. I did have a gap here, but some low-hanging branches. And just took just enough off. It looked good, but the branch just kind of made it pop onto a hyzer angle.
Hailey was about 20 feet for a birdie. That's a great get.
Yeah, it is. One of 3 birdies in the division. Kona Panis and Jessica Weiss are the other 2.
Nice. Hole 14, 375-foot par 3, plays downhill, but it's just really a routine hyzer for the righty backhand. But you just have to kind of pick your battle. You can either throw a higher hyzer, but then you have to contend with the branches up high, or you can go a slightly lower route and hopefully play that skip up to the basket.
Hailey going with a Raptor. Nice and wide. Gets a skip as well. She's going to be inside circle 1. It's in a good position. Throwing a very similar Raptor here. A little bit lower than Hailey's. Mine's going to come in pretty hot, but right into that tree. I'm going to have little to no putt from there. That tree is a blocker of sorts.
Yeah. I'm going OTB stamped Zeus right here, playing the lower line, knowing that I'm going to get that skip, and as long as I don't hit anything.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so I played that exactly how I wanted to.
That came in hot.
It came in very hot. So I'll be just inside circle 1.
Right, Lisa wants that one a little bit wider. She's going to find some inside branches, and she's going to be outside circle 2, just at the edge of the gap. You can see all these trees between her and the basket also have giant vines that kind of protrude out to the sides that make the trees quite a bit wider than normal.
Mm-hmm.
Lining up with her arrow here.
Arrow.
Just a tiny bit left chains. Can't stick.
Yeah, this was a big obstruction. There, you couldn't have stretched out any farther to get anything.
Gotta do some more yoga or something. Grow a couple inches.
So I found myself just inside circle 1. Knew I was putting pretty good, and really happy to convert on that birdie.
All right. Great birdie pickup there.
Thanks. Hailey straddling out a little bit. Makes easy work of that birdie as well.
Yeah, and you and Hailey are the only 2 birdies on this hole in the entire division, so.
Yeah, you got to get a little sneaky, or you're going to, like I had a bit of a tester putt for my birdie, so you just got to feel confident on the green and hopefully get through those trees.
I practice a lot. It's a vice. An escape from stress, from work. It's my chance to just get away during the week. It's like meeting up with an old friend, you know? I'll never get tired of that sound.
Messerschmidt here, PDGA number 5.
On to hole 15, 400 feet, par 3. It plays slightly downhill and then back uphill at the green. OB all along the left side, but for most of us, we're just trying to shoot a pretty straight flying shot right at the hill and just hope to get a nice little skid up to the basket. It is a bit on the edge of some of our ranges, but definitely still gettable for a lot of us.
Hailey lining up her Zeus here. Just a little bit too much turn on it. She's going to be way down there, but into the woods on the right.
I'm throwing my ESP Thrasher here. It flies just a bit straighter. I loved it out of my hand. Dropped a little bit at the end. I was kind of surprised by that, but I'll be just down the hill in circle 2.
Going with the Surge SS again here. Trying to throw it right at the basket and just came out a little bit early. So I'm going to be on the left side, pretty close to Missy.
Mm-hmm.
Lisa right in the center of the fairway, just a little bit short. She's going to have to throw an approach shot with her Star Rat.
Yep.
Right in the bullseye.
Yeah, Hailey just clipped a few branches coming out of that approach there. She'll find herself a little short. I'm definitely running this one. It's scary, you know, you don't want to be low or else it definitely could roll away, but tried to give it the right amount of height, just a little right.
Looked like those branches also kind of took some spin off right from the get-go.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and Hailey just a tiny bit low there. Fortunate bogey from her.
Yeah, you'll see 3 pars now and an unfortunate bogey from Hailey, but there's still definitely some birdies left in these last 3 holes, so we'll take a look at the leaderboard. Paige still holding on with that 4 down with a couple holes to go. Hailey and Kat and Kona and Jess all at 3 down, super tight. I'm right behind at 2 down. Yeah, it was really encouraging to see these scores really tight like this. And we'll see how it all shakes out. But hole 16 is 354 feet, but it does play slightly downhill. It is a par 3. There are definitely some trees to navigate on your way to the basket, but you just need to throw something that's going to hold pretty dead straight and hit this gap right here, and you will find yourself inside circle 1 pretty much every time. So just throw your straightest flyer. I'm going with a Z Thrasher just to get the distance. Hyzer flip it. I just threw a little bit too much hyzer, didn't quite get enough flip, and hit an early tree.
This one is my Buzz here, trying to go pretty flat just right of that tree. And just kind of threw it into the branches, slows it down, and gonna be just barely inside circle 2. Lisa going for that hyzer, kind of just right into the gap.
Mm-hmm.
It's a well executed shot, but unfortunately it just doesn't allow you to get close enough to the basket. She's still at 45 feet or so. Hailey also with the Buzz. She kind of gets it a little high and hits a branch and drops down and rolls right into that bush on the right side.
So I'm just forced to sort of lay up here. Not what I'm looking for at all. This is definitely one that I'm counting as a birdie for myself.
Yeah, actually, surprisingly, not too many birdies. Only 3 in the field. Katrina Allen, Holly Finley, and Vanessa Van Dyken. See us all on this feature card, kind of struggling to get it inside the circle. So
I don't know if you saw that squirrel, but he was.
I did see it, but it seemed like it wasn't moving. So I just had to try to focus on the chains. It definitely tested my focus ability, and
He was definitely dancing by the basket.
yeah, he was causing a scene over there.
It was funny. I was trying not to laugh. But
I was trying not to look at him.
yeah.
And happy to capitalize on that tester putt to come back for par. This late in the round, do not want to card any bogeys, but walking up to hole 17, everyone's thinking about it. It's a very demanding hole.
For sure.
But it's par 5.
Yeah, exactly. So, there's definitely scoring opportunities for sure on 17. It feels really daunting. We were even talking about how it feels like a finishing hole, because it's so just beautiful and picturesque and wide open and demanding, like you said. So most of us are just trying to pump one out here that's going to hold relatively straight and just give us, a position to either, maybe go for it, try to get as far up this last ending uphill part as possible, but
It's deceiving.
it's deceiving for sure. So I'm going Z Thrasher, just trying to get it all the way up the fairway as far as I can and just stay safe, because there is OB on the left side that definitely comes into play if you air it out too much.
Yeah, no OB on the right, but it's pretty thick. You don't really want to be over there, but there are options if you do land on the right.
For sure.
This is my Zeus. A little bit turned over. I know it's going to finish, but it just held straight a little bit longer than intended. And I will be on that right side that I spoke of, so you guys will see the backdoor option soon. And this is a new addition to this course this year for the FPO division. We played a shorter pad last year, so they wanted to back us up to the men's pad this year and make it a par 5. And I think it's a pretty good switch. I think it's such a fun hole to throw and very challenging in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Hailey with a Zeus. Looks good coming out of her hand, but with this downhill and the disc starting to hyzer out, it is going to find out of bounds.
So Lisa's just in this little ravine here. Should be no problem. It just sort of, freaks out your footing a little bit, but she throws a great approach shot right to the mouth of that uphill section of the fairway.
Hailey now ripping another shot up here. She can actually still save par even though she's going out of bounds. And that shot will make that goal quite a bit more feasible.
I'm also in this little ravine just a bit farther. And honestly, not where I've been landing in practice. So I usually just lay up like Lisa did to the bottom of that area, but I decided to go a little bigger and get a little closer. I will be in that rough on the right side, but it's quite a ways up there. So Paige going this backdoor route, you were almost forced to, right?
Yeah.
Because of that big tree. But you luckily, you have the distance to get up there, and you'll be contending with that tree on your putt, but put yourself in good position.
Yeah, definitely. I practiced that backdoor hyzer just because that's a common miss, is to make your drive a little bit right. So just over those Discraft flags, it's a good spot to be. That's a good out from the bush.
Yeah. Yeah, those high branches just kind of get in your head a little bit. Eagle. So nice. Feels good to get that late in the round, I
absolutely.
assume. Yeah.
Especially when you see how close the scores are. You
Yes.
know, every understroke helps, and
For
it's good to
sure.
card 2 on one hole.
Definitely. Lisa making good on her birdie. I'm a few steps inside of her. Definitely knew the scores at this point. Knew that 3 down was a hot score, and very happy to get that birdie late in the round as well. And on to our last hole, hole 18, par 3, 315 feet, but very uphill. OB all along the left side, so you really need to commit to a backhand Annie or a forehand, and just get anywhere safe in the middle of the fairway.
This is my Avenger SS. It's really flippy driver. Just trying to throw it on a hyzer flip up the left side, and just look for that late flip.
Yeah, you'll find yourself inside circle 2 with a pretty wide open shot to the basket. Again, this one probably plays more like 350, 360 with that uphill. I'm going heat here, just a little inside. Again, just guaranteeing not going OB left and leaving myself with an approach to the basket. Love this play by Lisa. Nice, safe forehand.
And Hailstorm also going with the sidearm.
Yeah, just at the edge of circle 2. First forehand of the round.
Lining up with a Raptor.
I was resisting that because I knew it was going to be the first forehand. But, you know, just got to trust that I know what I'm doing, and that was definitely the shot.
All right, Lisa with a good sidearm approach there as well. Hailey actually gave that a little bit. If it had a little bit more spin on it, she could have gave it a run. This one I'm definitely running. Came out with a hyzer release, though. Was not stoked about that. That is not even how I putt. Just kind of misfire there. Left myself with a tester and just pulled it a little bit to the right. An unfortunate bogey to finish, especially after an eagle. A little bit frustrated there. Overall, pretty solid round from all of this feature card. You got to see two of the best putters in the division. Missy Gannon and Lisa Fajkus, both 100% inside circle 1. The only other person to do that in the field was Kona Panis. So,
nice.
Pretty solid.
Yeah, just looking to get a little closer, you know. Got to find myself in circle 1 more.
Yeah, so thank you guys so much for tuning in to round 1. Hope you guys enjoyed the action. We saw myself shoot 5 under, Missy and Hailey at 3 under, and Lisa at 1 over. I know we saw Kona finished at 3 under earlier. We saw that leaderboard check-in. Let's see who else came in hot on this U-Disc leaderboard check-in.
Yeah. Popular scores, 3 down. 5-way tie at this time at second with 3 down. Just 2 back of the lead. And you can see, still tight all the rest of the way down the leaderboard. There will be plenty of opportunities out there in round 2. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next round.